Hey guys, it's your boy Lagoon 3.0 back at it again with another anime video, and this time it's The Great Pretender. Alright, if I had to give it a rating, it's the 8 out of 10. 8.5 out of 10 max, alright? It's actually a good anime, and like I recommend you to watch it. It's on Netflix, and it's 2 parts of it, so you know how Netflix does this, put like 2 seasons, but it's only 2 parts of it. 14 episodes for the first part, 9 episodes for the second part. And to be honest, it's a very interesting anime, but I couldn't help but compare it to Black Lagoon sometimes, because it gave me Black Lagoon vibes, right? Like, think about it, the main character Rock of Black Lagoon. He was going through his everyday life, and he ended up getting with a gang of I can't remember what they were called. Their name is the Black Lagoon, but I forgot what they did, because I haven't watched Black Lagoon in a fat minute. But the main character of Great Pretender, he was a swindler and ends up swindling the wrong person, and ends up going to the States and becoming this ends up being on his team that swindles the bad, Robin Hood-esque, do steal from the rich, give to the poor type of stuff. But they keep the money for themselves and only give what's necessary, right? And Abigail, who's one of the characters in Great Pretender, reminds me of Revi from Black Lagoon. Like the way their background is, their current self, looking to die, harsh. They have a good side, but they don't know how to show it because all their life has been like hell. That's those two. To be honest, if you put them side to side, they're kind of similar. But Abigail, she's darker than Revi, so that's the only difference, to be honest. The only thing I can say was bad about the Great Pretender is that what they did with the main character, right? The main character, he's a swindler, of course he is, and he always gets roped into these swindling things, because I forgot what this guy, they call him the blonde bastard, but he has another name. They always trick him into doing something for them in order to swindle somebody. Like he honestly, the main character, he honestly tries to live honest life. To be honest, he wouldn't have become a swindler if it wasn't for certain things. Like his father was a swindler, but he didn't know that. All he thought, his dad was a lawyer, but his dad messed up on a case that had the blonde bastard's wife actually getting killed. And when you find out later on, she doesn't get killed. I mean, she's not really dead. She just lost her memory. Spoiler alert. I'm just going to put that out there. But his father disappears, goes to jail, and the main character, he's mad. He hates his father because now his mom is sick, and he's taking care of her all by himself. And he wants to be an honest, a good person, because that's how he was raised. And he ends up accidentally going to work for this one guy who swindles people, right? Not the blonde bastard, but another guy who was it was fraud basically. But the main character, he thought he was doing honest work, but ends up going to jail for no reason. So he becomes a swindler after his mom dies, and that's what sets up everything. And to be honest, like I said, it's something I'm telling you should watch it. It's very good. If you watch Black Lagoon, you will see the similarities to it, because the similarities is for real. Seriously, the similarities are literally close. I just couldn't help but compare the two. I just had to, because it was so similar, especially Abigail and Revi. To be honest, that's it. But yeah, other than that, I didn't like how they just made the main character always like try to do the honest work, and it ends up swindling somebody at the end of the day, at the end of the case. But other than that, it had very compelling stories. It had very, like, how basically just like how, not how Black Lagoon did it, but in The Great Pretender, there's 4 of them, the 4 main casts of the swindling group. Most of the cases go back to their past and how they became a swindler, their trauma and all that. And most of them were interesting, except for this one girl. I forgot her name, but she's a redhead, and she's supposed to be like the beauty of the group, even though Abigail pushes out of the water. But that's not the point. her backstory was kind of boring because the only reason she became a swindler because her boyfriend was made counterfeit art because his art wasn't good enough, so he made counterfeit art for this one guy who just wanted money and stuff like that, and she knew what was going to happen to him if he continued doing that way and stuff like that. But yeah, like she really became a swindler because her boyfriend was, guy played, I guess, and it shook her whole life. Like, that's the only thing. Like, Abigail, she didn't really want to become a swindler. She just wanted a place to die, and the blonde bastard just found her and, gave her a place. That's it. Just like, and the main character, just I'll let you know, the blonde bastard, he didn't want to become. He also was like the main character. Him and the main character are kind of similar in their backstories, right? The blonde bastard, his backstory, he's like, his mom got swindled, of course, that's how he became a swindler. His mom got played because she had this disease and she couldn't really read, and she ended up signing the paperwork that just that ended up being the death of her, basically. And he was really studying, he was trying to be honest too, trying to be something, I forgot. He really trying to be up there like a lawyer or something like that. And because of what happened, now he's very good at psychology and stuff like that, and he usually goes to bars and stuff, and beat people because he knows how they're going to act and stuff when they're playing cards. And he ends up trying to kill the guy who swindled his mom back in the day when he was younger, but ends up stabbing this very beautiful woman named Dorothy, who is black, and she's a swindler. And he only became a swindler because of her, because he thought he killed her, but she was like, oh, I knew that she was going to do that. He was part of my swindle, game, and all that. It was, to be honest, there was so many ex machinas. Like, it's to be honest, when you see people die in this anime, usually like this, because when you see like when in the beginning you see Abigail and the blonde bastard get killed, and you think they're dead. And then you're like, oh no, it was a trick. These guns weren't real. We didn't really die. We just had blood packs. I'm like, what? First time I was so confused, bro. And then whenever you see like a character of the group die, they always come back. Like somehow they're like, oh, this was a part of the scheme. The fuck? How is that a part of the scheme? Like, I'm getting played just watching this. Like, it's like you couldn't trust anything you saw in this anime. Like, you think everything was supposed to go a certain way, and then you see people die, and it's like, whoa, they're dead? And then they show up in the next episode or the next scene, all chilling after they get the money. I'm like, what? How? This how? Like, this is what we do now? But it's a good recommendation. Like, watch The Great Pretender. It's a good anime. And I hope you guys like and subscribe to my channel. Lagoon 3.0 out.